giving up part of your sunny Sunday to come out here and join us. I was thinking last night about how many people would turn out, who would turn out, and why they would turn out. And it occurred to me that the people who will be in this room, the people that are in this room today, you all share one thing. You all know why you're here. People in this room are the people who have been saying to each other for the last 5 or 10 years or 3 years, however long you've been here, what's the matter with this place? What is the matter with this state? Why do we have to be worse than every other state in every measurable index and category? Why is it that when the unemployment rates come out, Rhode Island finishes 3 points worse than Massachusetts, and Connecticut finishes 4 or 5 points worse than New Hampshire, and finishes only a hair ahead of Michigan? Why, when the education numbers come out, are we in last place across the board? Why is it that our per pupil expenditure is in the top 10 in the country, and our performance numbers are in the bottom 10 in the country? And you keep going across the board, measurement after measurement, and the story is always the same. The story is always the same. And I think the reason for that is that we as a community, we as a state, have meekly accepted this idea of what I call single-party rule. We have, as a people, as a state, accepted the idea that it's okay to have no competition for any of our elected leadership positions. In the General Assembly, which holds all the cards in this state, there are 113 legislators. 102 of them are all from the same party. 102 of them are from the same party. In the last election, 45 members of the General Assembly ran unopposed. Now, why is that? Is that because there's nobody else in any of those 45 districts that cares what happens? I don't think so. I think the reason that 45 members of the General Assembly run unopposed is because people have developed this sense of inevitability. And as soon as people think a result is inevitable, guess what happens? They give up. They won't leave the house, they're not going to run for office, they're not going to write a check, and they may not even vote. That's what has happened. It has happened across the board in this state, and look what we've got. Look at the results that we've got. I know a lot of you have had the conversations with each other about this monolithic system that we're living with, this single-party rule that we're living with, and I know a lot of you have said to each other, I wish that there was a credible alternative. Let's face it, the state Republican Party has not produced that credible alternative. The party can't even agree on whether to open and close its primary. It can't agree on what its basic platform should be. It can't agree on much of anything. And the amount of time and energy that has been spent in this internal bickering within that party is pathetic. In our view, an occasional independent candidacy is not the answer either, because you know what? Every independent candidacy, by definition, is a one and done. Somebody runs, he or she wins, he or she loses, and that's it. They pack the suitcases and they go home, and there's nothing left for the next time. There's nothing to build on. There's no foundation. So a couple of years ago, Ken Block got this crazy idea that, you know what? Nobody else is doing this. I'm going to do this. And he started the moderate party, and he has come an awful long way. And we have come an awful long way in just a couple of years. There are many, many states around the country in which people have tried to do this. There is one state in the United States where this party has gotten on the ballot, and it's here. That's no mean feat. And for just that, if nothing else, Ken Block deserves an enormous round of applause. So here we are. What do we stand for as a party? What we stand for as a party is the basic idea that government cannot and should not be all things to all people. That a political party cannot and should not dictate to everyone in the state what all of their positions should be on every issue across the board. That a political party should pick out those issues which are critical, core issues, and it should be relentless in pursuing those core issues. For the moderate party, there are 4 such core issues. Number 1, with a capital E, is the economy and jobs. That will be the first priority every day and every night as this party goes forward. That will be our relentless focus. There is no reason why businesses have to continue to pack up and leave this state. There's no reason why our cost structure has to be so far out of line with everybody else. There is no reason why the kinds of red tape that businesses have to put up with in this state have to choke off any kind of economic growth. There is no reason why the kind of spiraling state spending just chokes off any hope of recovery, any hope of growth, because we're out there spending too much money to grow this monstrous, monstrous, monstrous state government. That will be the first and highest priority. The second of our 4 E's program is ethics reform. I had the pleasure to spend 5 years as the U.S. Attorney in this state. And I can't tell you the number of people who put to me the question, what is it about this place? What is it about our culture that drives this? What is it about Rhode Island that just makes people do this kind of stuff? And again, I harken back to the fact that there's no opposition. Where there's no opposition, nobody's being pressed to be a better government official or a more honest or a more transparent government official. If anything, they're pushed in the other direction. And we've seen the results. We've seen judges, we've seen governors, we've seen legislators either resign in disgrace or simply go to jail. Under the moderate party regime, you'll see a number of reforms which are central to what this party stands for and what this party believes in. It's time to enforce rules at the General Assembly where we do something radical, like maybe even read legislation before it gets passed. Can you imagine? What a crazy idea. The General Assembly's in session for about 6 months every year. Something like 90% of the bills get passed in the last couple of days. And you have legislators who will openly say to anybody that was never read it, never really thought about it. The leadership told me that this is how I had to vote on this. That's how we make laws in this state. It's absolutely insane. But it just happens session after session after session, and nobody does anything about it. The General Assembly has a legislative grants program, which is just a slush fund for the leadership to pass out $1 million here, $250,000 there. Make sure you keep all your soldiers in line. That's outrageous. That's your money. That's your money that they're just using to buy votes. Plain and simple. The list is almost endless, but we have put up on the website 6 major initiatives that we want to push in terms of ethics reform. I urge you to go to the site, read them, and see whether you don't agree that those kinds of changes in the change in single party lever or single lever party voting and some of the other things that we've put up there, whether those wouldn't really make a difference. Because we believe they would, and we believe that that's a critical core component of what this party needs to stand for and what the people of this state have come to deserve. The third piece of our program is education. It's our third E.